Hi, Taurus. All right, so you guys are my last one this month. I'm sorry about that. But the reason is because there was this hidden energy, and it's also like it's kind of a secretive energy where you like don't really want to come through and admit certain things. So it's going to be we're going to do very intuitive card reading this month, because what's coming to me is I wrote down a couple things, and what I wrote is spinning out of control. So when Tauruses feel out of control, right, they don't really want to admit it or show it. Sometimes they can show anger and frustration. You guys know that. But most of the time, you guys want to hide it and kind of put on a facade. You know, there's this facade that's pretty prevalent with you guys. Oh, wow. Okay. So, first card out, Five of Wands. That's pretty significant. And this came out in the... What reading did this come out in? It wasn't Aries. It was Gemini, I believe. Yeah. So a very intense conflict, battle, right? Something's going on. And you guys don't always like to admit when bad things are happening. You know, you kind of put on this front where it's like, everything's good. We're all good, you know, and you don't really tell people unless they're super close to you what's really internally going on. You know, this battle is pretty significant. It's pretty frustrating and intimidating, and when you have one thing happen, it feels like this domino effect of like all these negative things are happening, you know, it's like things with relationships and then things with school or work, you know, it's all just kind of spinning out of control. That's what I wrote down. So what's coming to me specifically is this battle, this conflict that you're having with somebody or within yourself is so significant that you don't even want to show it. You know, it's not a minor thing. It's like something that you're either embarrassed or not willing to admit at this time. And I'm sorry for that, you know, that's not a fun feeling, especially, you know, we have a great opportunity, all of us, every sign this month has a great opportunity with the Great American Eclipse, right? The solar eclipse on the 21st, to start fresh, you know, to start a new soul intention, right? A new inner guidance and a new passion, a new desire. There's something we can formulate leading up to that. You know, if we have the right formula, we can succeed in making that eclipse a really powerful, positive experience. And I know you guys are so, you know, you want to look so strong all the time, right? You want to look like you have it all together, and you want to look like everything's perfect, and you have, you know, not in like a Libra way where it's like everything's all in balance or, you know, in perfection. It's like you want things to look better than they are all the time. Not just good, but like better, you know? And I'm going to pull another card, but this whole energy is like, that's why it took me so long to do your reading, because I kept attempting to do it, and I felt this weight on me where it's like, you know, they're not happy right now, and there's a lot of intense emotional conflict that's happening, right? And this can be with family, significant others, parents, kids, you know, things like that. So, okay, awesome. Well, this answers This answers certain things for sure. Okay, so when I'm talking about the battle, right, and I'm talking about this internal struggle, I'm seeing this as partially a relationship issue, but also a family issue, right? And we do have some positive cards here. So I'm going to face the camera down and we're going to dig into this. So these want to come together, okay, the Two of Swords, and then these want to stay separate, right? The Ten of Pentacles, which is awesome and positive, and the Two of Cups, which is showing me a soul tie, twin flame, very intertwined, like, relationship, right? And I was going to say energy, but it is a relationship. So this relationship that your soul is tied to, right? You can't easily break free from it. This emotional connection you have to somebody, and it can be family, right? Because the Ten of Pentacles is about family and coming together and full completion, right? So this can be a family situation, and there is a separate battle that you're having with this significant other or family member, because the Two of Swords is coming out a lot for a lot of readings this month, and I'll dig into it a little bit. What it basically means is trusting your intuition. And yes, you guys are like, I know, I hear that all the time. Yes, trusting your intuition is easier said than done, and you can think you're doing it and not be doing it at all. So you could really be using your head instead of your intuition, which is your gut feeling, which when you step to this person, right, when you step to them, you really have to be in a position of trusting your intuition, because if they are a negative person, you can step to them and slice them, right? Trusting your gut because you're blindfolded. If they're a positive person willing to help you and unblindfold you and guide you and help lead the way, then you won't slice them, right? Because this situation is all about, right, crescent moon intuition and balancing, it's about instead of thinking before you make a decision, it's about trusting your gut. So that wants to go with the Five of Wands here, and that internal conflict or battle that you're having within yourself or with somebody. And when you have this soul tie connection, right, they can be a very big part of your family and your livelihood, and it's not easy to break free from them. So what that's telling me is that you guys cannot easily keep this front up, right? You can't easily keep up this facade of like everything's good and we're awesome and we're happy and I'm happy, because you're having a conflict with them and they see it, right? Even if you're trying to ignore it or put a front on it, they see it. They see that you're, upset. They can see that you're frustrated and that everything is spinning out of control and that it's not your, happiest moment. They see that you're unhappy. There's no reason to fake being happy. They see that you're not. And this person gets you on a very intense level. This is an emotional, spiritual, very, very intense, intertwined relationship. And so they get you. Even if you're trying to pretend that everything's good, they understand that it's not so. Okay, awesome. So we have the King of Wands. So this can be the person we are talking about. It can be a fire energy, sun, moon, or rising. This can be a fire energy you're dealing with. And yeah, I want to put that right there because I'm feeling like, it can be a romantic relationship or a family member. So if this person is fire, make sure to watch those videos to kind of identify, you know, how they're feeling about this situation. Okay, there we go. Look at your reading just fell out. Okay, awesome. I already see some awesome cards. Okay, so we have the Four of Swords, which is awesome. Contemplation, meditation. We have Eight of Pentacles, Justice and Balance, the Libra card. That's funny. I was just talking about how, you know, you guys don't have the wanting to be perfect like Libra, but you want to be perfect like on top of everything else. Okay, here we go. This is making sense now. Okay. I'm just going to see where I want to place these cards, but I'm very happy to see we have the Ten of Cups coming out. Can you guys see all these? All right. Yes. All right. These want to all come together. And this balance and this, wow. Yeah. Okay. I get it now. So there's a very, very strong energy coming from this card right now, right? The Eight of Cups is about deciding to walk away. You know, it's going with either your heart or your intuition. That's what's happening right here, okay? So, cups, emotions, heart, water, right? Emotions. And the crescent moon is about intuition. And we're talking about following your intuition here. So there is a certain thing where you are like, do I walk away from this? And this person, right, do I walk away? Is that going to make me happier? Is that going to make my life more balanced? Is that going to bring me justice? And let's see here. So yeah, these kind of want to line up like this. And I want to specify, we have the Eight of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. So I want to balance these two right here, and then the Page of Swords and the Ten of Cups right here. So there's very interesting energy, this internal battle, right? Having to put up this front of like, everything's good, everything is great. You're not, that's exhausting, you know? So there's this internal battle of like, do I walk away? Right? And if this is a air sign energy, right? If this is an air that you're dealing with, and that's wanting to cling on to the Ten of Cups, which is full completion and happiness and love and balance and everything good and positive. So if this, I'm seeing this as if this is a fire energy, you're debating walking away. If this is a air sign energy you could be dealing with, sun, moon, or rising, then you're not so much dealing with, you know, wanting to walk away for a minute. You're dealing with, this person I know for sure makes me happy, and I'm not willing to walk away, but I have considered it before, or they are walking away from me or kind of disappearing, you know, doing certain things like maybe not being honest with me. And that can actually be for the fire or air energy that I'm getting. So this can be something where it's like a consideration of you drifting and leaving because you're sick of being unhappy and spinning out of control. And as a result, it's not to punish them, but it's to kind of help them emotionally. You will walk away. This could also be them walking away as well, or you see them doing certain things that are not really helpful in a relationship or a, you know, family situation. you can feel abandoned, right? But this is a very strong connection you have with this person. So feeling abandoned is not necessarily like the easiest thing, right? If this is an air or a fire sign that you're dealing with, it's hard either way, because you're feeling like maybe it's too late, maybe you can't catch them, maybe they've already made a choice and you're trying to make a decision based on their choice, right? Make a decision to either move on, what is your gut telling you, to move on, or to follow them and not so much chase them, but to follow them in their time of need and in your time of need. And maybe they walked away from you because they're frustrated with you, but they seem to bring you this, which is very significant, right? This person that has brought you so much happiness and joy, when they walk away, or seems like they're walking away, this could be you or them. When they walk away, this can be extremely painful, right? This can be extremely painful because they're not someone you can easily just get rid of. And it's interesting, we're talking about justice and balance, because like I was saying before, you guys want everything to be lined up and perfect, and you're putting on this facade. Maybe this is the facade, right? Maybe you are, pretending like everything is perfect when it's not. Maybe you are actually acting like everything is the 10 of Cups, when really, it's like this. It's work. It's trying to focus on one thing at a time, but you're overwhelmed by wanting to look like everything's great. But there's a lot of work that goes into this, right? So yeah, they're either walking away or you're walking away, and you are putting up this sort of facade, right? Or they have made you this happy before, and you're just like, I need that back, I want that back because they balance me. Or you're just so done with them that you're like, okay, close this door, right? I'll find another, soul connection. We don't only have one soul connection on this earth, right? We have multiple. So you need to take the time, right? The Four of Swords is taking the time to reflect and meditate on what you should do next. So don't be afraid to focus, right? Focus on this one thing at a time. I know you have multiple things happening. You have a lot of conflict happening, within your life right now. So don't be afraid to focus on this situation, right? Don't be afraid to focus on this, because this energy of, it's not like you're out chasing someone, but this energy of, if someone decides to walk away from you, or you see them having actions of trying to escape you, right? Doing things, maybe behind your back, or just not showing up when they're supposed to show up, being sneaky, things like that. It's very scary. So don't be afraid to focus on that, right? Instead of other things that may be going on, like work or school. This situation needs to be handled, right? This conflict needs to be handled. So meditate on it, pray on it, and make sure that whatever you do, if you meditate or you pray, whatever you do, make sure that you understand that this facade is not doing anybody any good, right? This is not helping, okay? Not helping you, not helping them. So take on that role of being open and self-reflecting, right? and really decide what do they do for you, right? Are they worth it? I mean, that's a hard question to answer. It looks like they're a very connected type of, oh, look at that. We got a Taurus card. Ha! Crone Ascension. That's amazing. I'm pulling from the Goddess deck now. So this is about dropping old habits, okay? So I'm going to talk about that for a second. But there is some kind of habit, some kind of cycle that's happening with them or with you. With you specifically, I'm going to talk about this habit that, you know, this may be the habit of putting on a facade, right? Crone means old, dropping the old, right, to move forward and become a new powerful energy. So make sure that what we're dropping is the facade of being happy and being, you know, perfectly in balance. Everything's perfect. You know, make sure that's what we're dropping, you know, to self-heal and self-help. Don't drop your own emotions. You know, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying drop the old habits of putting on a facade. Okay, here we go. And then we have Maiden Beauty. Another pentacle, another earth card. Beautiful. So this is the result of dropping the old shit, right? Dropping the old habits and creating new ones and feeling this comfort, right? Look at her. She's laying in her garden. She has her beautiful home behind her. She's very, very content, right? Beautiful, content, all good things. So super important to drop this habit of pretending like everything is okay. All right, now let's pull from the Oracle deck, and then we can pull an angel card. Okay, so what are we at? 22 minutes? Okay, almost 23 minutes. So I'm going to pull this card and then the angel card. And while I'm pulling this, I'm going to talk about, I'm going to be live tomorrow on YouTube for the first time tomorrow, which is Saturday, August 5th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So join that if you guys want to ask questions about whatever. I'm going to talk about, you know, my history behind tarot reading and being an empath. And then I'm going to talk about love, relationships. I'm going to talk a little bit about the solar eclipse and how to prepare. And also the lunar eclipse, right? The full moon on August 7th in Aquarius. So I'm going to talk about those things. So join that if you guys want. You can ask any questions and I'll give the answers. Okay? Yeah, this whole thing is like, it's messy, but this facade that you're putting on is not doing anybody any favors. Especially you. We gotta drop this old shit and become content. Okay. Let's pull the Oracle card. Okay, this one wants to come out. Oh, okay. The Serpent. Knowledge and healing. Wow. That's kind of amazing, right? This is particularly exciting because when I was talking about cycles, right? And, you know, there's this like, this can be this cycle of not dropping old habits and them just picking up. And the serpent, right? When we pull the snake, which is the Two of Pentacles in the Goddess deck, that is cycles, right? So the serpent is knowledge and healing, but it's also a representation of kind of how you are acting lately, right? You're taking on this energy, this serpent snake energy. And that is a critical energy to have when you are self-healing. And we're talking about self-healing and meditating, right? With the Four of Swords. And we're talking about self-healing and meditating, and particularly with this situation, right? This relationship or family member situation, this is kind of how you're acting, right? And this can be why this person is walking away from you or is, showing signs of, disappearing and not wanting to be around you as much, because maybe you are in this state of like, okay, I need to fix myself and help myself before I help anybody else. I need to take on this energy of like, being a little bit selfish, right? I need to be selfish and not absorb other people's energy. I need to express my own energy. So the serpent does that, right? They know everything, and then even though they know everything, right? Because they sneak up on certain people and situations, so they kind of hear everything and what's going on. So they know everything, but they pretend that it's okay, right? They know everything, but, they kind of act like they don't. And there's a certain thing where people talk about snakes and ears and how snakes don't have ears or something like that. But the serpent, look at the smirk, right? It knows everything. Whether it has ears or not, it knows intuitively and from the eyes, right? Intuition and the eyes. So we can talk about the third eye or the two obvious eyes that they have. Knowledge and healing. So you do know what's going on, and you have to admit to yourself the problem before you can find the solution, right? And before you can start the healing and dropping the old bullshit, right? Dropping the old habits, right? The cycle, in order to become this positive maiden beauty and not to feel like shit anymore, not to feel like you're not yourself anymore, right? Focusing on this one aspect is going to help you. It's going to help you be a lot happier, right? Once you admit these certain issues. Okay? So, angel card, all right? Sorry, this is a long video, but I always try to make short ones, but it doesn't always work out. Okay, here we go. Angel card is efficiency. Wow, that's pretty significant, right? Efficiency. So making sure that we are efficient, not only in identifying what's wrong so we can fix it and not ignoring it, right? Efficiency in also when you decide to heal and you decide to take on this role of not allowing other people's energy to absorb you, right? Not allowing this conflict to eat you up inside and not to, continue this negative cycle. Efficiency is also an important thing because we're talking about, you can do anything half-ass. You can run a marathon half-ass. You can, whatever. There's plenty more examples. You can do whatever you want half-ass. You can write a paper half-ass. You can do anything pretty much half-assed, but the efficiency is what's going to make you stand out. You know, not everybody does everything with efficiency. And this can be about self-healing, and this can also be about taking away the facade and taking away the almost the pleasure you seek when half-assing relationships. Does that make sense? I don't mean you half-ass every relationship, but when you do have a relationship that you half-ass, you have to realize, right? You have to recognize that there's no efficiency in that, right? There's nothing positive that can come out of that, because if you're half-assing the relationship, they're going to half-ass it too. If you go into it 50%, they're going to be at 50%. You know, relationship should be 100-100, not 50-50. It should be you give 100, they give 100. So if you want to save this situation, right, because they're clearly walking away, or you're clearly walking away, or showing signs, right, of disconnecting and emotionally disconnecting, there needs to be efficiency and educating yourself, right, about how to fix it if you want to fix it. Because putting on the facade isn't going to help anybody. Okay? So, I will be in Sacramento mid to late September. So if you want an in-person reading there, and you're in that area, you can email me through my website. The link is down below. If you're not in that area, then we can just have a Skype or FaceTime private reading. Okay, the link is down below. You can push book now. With my calendar, it shows the dates that I'm available. Okay, so Tauruses, a lot going on. Heavy reading, and I'd like to go deeper, but this video is already half an hour long. So I love you guys, and I'll see you next month.